Hello and welcome to the GunLocker. Now, I don't think it's too late to say this or to wish you this, but Happy New Year to you. This is the first review that I'm posting this year, and the review centres around this diddy little item. Vector Optics have very kindly sent me this Veyron Plus 10x30 Zero rifle scope, and I have to say it's probably the smallest optic that I've mounted to any rifle. And in all honesty, it doesn't really fit this caliber gun cricket. It's more suited to a compact bullpup, something where it's really quite close into the body and you want an optic with zero eye relief, or as near as damn it, zero eye relief. This comes with a 17mm eye relief, so it'd be perfect for the job. It's also very, very lightweight. Believe it or not, I've been struggling with this review. I've probably restarted it over a dozen times already, because each time I found that the difficulty I was having was doing it justice, and I didn't think it was right to actually put out a review about a product that has so many features within it but is so minimalist. And because it's so minimalist, really, I know it sounds an irony, but there's not a lot to talk about, so I've been kind of struggling with this one. Anyway, what I figure is the best thing to do is go through the tech specs on it, and I'm going to put those tech specs up on screen now, so they're going to be in this corner down here. And I'm going to go through those tech specs with you because, as I say, I want to do the optic justice. I want to do Vector Optics justice because I believe that it deserves it. I really do. Initially, when I first received the package and I opened up the box and I looked at it, I thought, oh wow, there's not a lot to talk about here. But I was misguided, that's for sure. So let me go through the tech specs with you. I am going to show you a little bit of footage through the scope so that you can see the reticle, but what I will say from the outset is that that footage is not via my ScopeMate S18 scope cam, and the reason why it's not through that is because when you attach the camera to the back of this lens, the fact that it's got zero eye relief plays havoc with the internal workings of the camera. It just cannot focus in, so you're basically getting a pinhole image, and it just doesn't work. Something like the S18 works for an optic that's got an eye relief of anywhere from 60mm to 100mm. Okay, so what's that, 2.5 inches to about 4 inches of eye relief. It does not work with a zero eye relief optic. What I've done though is, and apologies for this, but it's the best I could do, is I put my camera phone up against the back of the optic here, and I got some imagery. It's not great, but at least you'll be able to get to see what the reticle actually looks like. Anyway, all of that lot aside, and hopefully I'm going to do it justice, but let's talk about this little optic, and it is tiny, isn't it? Right, as I've said, 10x30, so 10 times fixed magnification, 30mm objective lens. Okay, it is second focal plane because you're not going to have a first focal plane on a fixed magnification scope. It doesn't work, there's no point. Eye relief 17mm or 0.67 of an inch, and the lenses themselves are fully multi-coated to aid with sort of the clarity of the image. The linear field of view at 100 yards is 28.3 feet, or at 100 meters is 9.4 meters if you're that way inclined. Angular, I can never get this word out, angular field of view is 5.4 degrees. Now apparently that is 700 times more than its predecessor. So quite an improvement on that score. And the reticle within the optic is Vector Optics MPR -V6. The tube is 30 millimeters in diameter, and the body of the optic is made from 6061-T6 aluminium alloy, obviously in matte black, as you can see. Now, with regards to the turrets, on the left side of the optic you have a 2-control turret. So I don't know if I said that right. It doesn't sound right, does it? But the first lot is, the first wheel basically controls the illumination, and you've got 11 gears from 0 to 11 times strength, and that illumination works on the center dot of the reticle. There is no on-off between each power level, so it goes 0 to 11 and then the next one is 0. And then the inner wheel is the focus wheel, and that will allow you to focus anywhere from 6 yards to infinity. Now, with 6 yards in mind, this makes it a perfect optic for kind of vermin control within a small unit, small game hunting, or field target work. Yeah, the fact that it's so kind of dinky compact, it basically is a point and play optic. You know, you don't have to mess around with anything else. It is an MRAD scope, which means to say that the click value on the turrets, both in elevation and windage, is at 100 meters. 1 click is equivalent to 1 centimeter of movement, okay, within the reticle. Or 1 centimeter at 100 meters, that's right. So it's a 0.1 MRAD scope. The turrets, they're lockable, so basically you pull them up, you can adjust them, and I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a defined click. They're not sloppy in any way. There's a nice level of resistance. So that's locked. Same on the windage. I'm hoping the camera can pick up the clicks. They do the job. There's no waggle movement. You know that as it clicks over, it's nice and precise. The elevation adjustment range and also the windage adjustment range is 26 mil, and the diopter compensation, so basically at the back here, I'm just going to take this eye cup off, but you can adjust that diopter from -5 to +5, which means that it should suit anybody's eyes. That's a large range of adjustment there. That's allows you basically to get a nice crisp image of the reticle. It's not used to focus the optic at distance. That's what the side wheel is for. What else can I say? Yeah, so battery to feed the illumination is a CR2032. I don't know how long that will last if this was continually turned on. Generally speaking, I shoot with reticles that are not illuminated, so I don't really know how long those batteries last. And apparently the optic is rated IP67 with regards to waterproofness. And what that basically means, if I get this right, is that you can submerge it to 1 meter of water and it can stay there for, I think, half an hour, or it might stretch out to an hour. I'll probably put it down at the bottom of the screen. I'll find out for sure which one it is. I think it's 1 meter for half an hour or 30 minutes. Could be mistaken. With regards to anti-fog or misting up, the optic is nitrogen purged, and that should also aid in the prevention of mildew forming within the optic itself. And it's shockproof to 750G. So not quite as much as the Continental or the Taurus, which is rated to 1000G. The length, well, as you can see, it's tiny. It's only 212 millimeters long, or 8.37 inches. And here's the really amazing thing: it comes in at 420 grams. That's 14.8 ounces. So it adds virtually no weight to the rifle whatsoever. What do you get within the box? Well, the box you can see here, you get a user manual. That's it. There's not a lot to it, but you know what? You don't need a lot, really. You get a cleaning cloth, you can see here. You get a, they call it a plastic wrench, but it's for the turret caps. That's quite handy. You also get a token within the box, and it says on the back of the token, this is for Vector Optics' own website, but it says enter Continental when checkout 12% off. Okay, that's for their site. What else do you get? You get a set of 30mm Weaver medium profile mounts, and most importantly, you get a 5-year manufacturer's warranty. Okay, all for the price, or for the recommended retail price here in the UK, at £182. Now, you will be able to see this optic on my new website. That's www.thegunlocker.net. What I've done basically is I've created a website that goes alongside the channel, and as I do reviews, those reviews will also be posted on the website, so it'll provide you with information along with that item that I'm reviewing. And there's also a new store that's been attached to it. Now, it's a brand new website. I'm still working on it, and I'm going to be working on it for years to come, so you know, please bear with me on that one. But as products come in, as they become available, I'll be adding them to the site. I've got all of Vector Optics range to add to that website, and a lot of their umbrella or sub companies that they have within them. So they've got accessories and other bits and pieces, and I'll be able to add that to the store as well. So guys, in time, as you see it, it will develop, and please feel free to go on there and order up some products if you want to. I'll also be issuing some discount codes as well, as and when they come available. Now, what I'm going to do is show you the footage through the scope, and again, like I've already said, it wouldn't allow me to fit the scope mate S18 on the back, so you just kind of have to bear with me on that. And yeah, I'll come back in here afterwards and we'll have a quick chat.
Right guys, my apologies for the footage coming through the optic, but unfortunately I couldn't fit my ScopeMate S18 camera to the back of it because the zero eye relief played havoc with the way the camera operates. So what I've done is I've just basically pushed my, sorry, I'm losing it now. I've just pushed my phone up against the optic itself, and it's just going out of focus now. Oops. Again, this is a nightmare trying to get it to work. There we go. It's just a fraction out and it throws it off. But that's the reticle that you can see in the middle of the screen there. What I'm going to do is just put it on to 11 times illumination so you can see the illuminated red dot. Bear with me. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to pull this out of focus so you can see the, oops, you can see, I'm not sure whether the camera is actually going to pick this up or not. Okay, I can't tell from this screen whether you can actually see that illuminated reticle, but it is the center dot that's illuminated. And in all honesty, through the optic itself, it's very bright. Obviously, it's a bit of a murky day today. It's a bit grey, but that's it. That's as best as I can do. Unfortunately, guys, I'm very sorry. Ordinarily, I'd put a ScopeMate S18 on the back of my optics, and I can get you a better image of what you'll see through the optic. All I can say is that, you know, it does what it's supposed to do. Simple as that.
So that was footage through the optic, and my apologies for the poor quality. It's not that I couldn't fit the ScopeMate S18 onto the back of the optic. It does screw on, it does fit on there, but the fact that this has a 0 eye relief or 17mm eye relief, it's too short for the camera to actually pick up the image through the lens. It's just not focusing in on it at all. I ended up simply getting my phone camera and putting it to the back like this and hoping to get an image. It was not the best, it really wasn't, so my apologies there. And also with regards to trying to get you imagery of the illuminated reticle, it wasn't, my phone for whatever reason wasn't picking up that image. It is clear, and you can definitely see the difference in levels of illumination from 1 all the way up to 11. So please don't take that imagery as, you know, gospel. At the end of the day, what you see through the optic without cameras interfering with them is much clearer, that's for sure. Yeah, what else can I say? That effectively is it for this review. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't already done so, can you please subscribe? It means an awful lot to the channel, especially with regards to YouTube and the way its algorithm works. It actually helps to spread the video to a larger audience as well, so that would be greatly appreciated. And just to let you know, I've got some reviews coming out shortly on different types of air guns which I haven't reviewed before, so that's quite exciting. And lastly, as always, if you're going out and you're shooting, please be safe. Look after yourself, look after those around you, and make sure that your projectile stays within your permission. Alright guys, till the next one, bye bye.